Hey mathematicians, let's do your homework. All right, question number 1. When Juanita started driving at 4 p.m., the temperature was 12 degrees Fahrenheit. When she arrived home at 10 p.m., the temperature was negative 5 degrees Fahrenheit. What was the difference in temperature? Difference, remember, is one of the vocab words we've studied before. Difference means we are subtracting. In temperatures between 4 and 10 p.m. Careful. The 4 and 10 p.m. are actually not relevant. They are not the numbers I care about. At 4 p.m., it was 12 degrees. At 10 p.m., it was negative 5. And here's where the trick is. That's not the problem. The problem is subtract them. How many degrees are between the numbers 12 and negative 5? So when you have minus a negative, remember that that becomes 12 plus 5. Another way to think about it is if we had it on a number line, here's 12, here's 0, here's negative 5. How many spaces, this is basically me asking you what's the absolute value, how many spaces between 12 and 0? 12 spaces. How many spaces between 0 and negative 5? 5 spaces. So 12 spaces and 5 spaces means we need to add those two numbers together. Don't worry about the record your answer in the grid. That's an old version of the homework. We don't do those anymore. So just write your answer, circle it, move on. Number 2, an airplane is flying at an altitude. That's what we call a height. That's really high in the sky. An altitude of 5,000 feet, and it starts descending. This word descending means going down at a rate of 150 feet per minute. For every minute that passes, they go down another 150 feet. What will be the altitude of the plane after 10 minutes? So let's see. We start at 5,000 feet. After 1 minute, we're down 150. After another minute, we're down 150. After another minute, we're down 150. You can see I'm already running out of space. So this is actually maybe not the best way to solve this problem. So let's think about it in total. We go down 150, down 150, down 150, down 150, down 150, and I've only showed you 5 fingers. We do it another 5 times, down, 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 for a total of 10 times. 10 times. So we are going to start by doing negative 150 times 10. That gives us negative 1,500. That's total how many feet you went down. So now the problem is if you started at 5,000 feet and you went down 1,500 feet, where are you now? And make sure that your answer has the units of feet. Nope, not last one. Next one. Dietrich's football team lost a total of 56 yards in their first game. Which expression represents an integer? Which expression results in an integer? That means like the answer is an integer that represents the team's average yardage per quarter. You need to know what this word means in order to solve this problem correctly. So think we've talked about the root word QUA when we talk about quadrants, quadrilaterals, quarters. Those all have the same root word that makes the Spanish word cuatro, and it is the root word for 4. So in the whole game, they lost is negative, 56 points. And we were splitting it up into 4 sections. So immediately you should be able to cross off 2 answer choices that don't include the number 4. Now you just need to decide if you have 4 sections in a football game, do you think that's represented by a positive 4, in which case you'd choose A, or do you think it's represented by a negative 4, in which case you'd choose C? I'm not going to tell you the answer. You have some real life experience. Many of you have probably seen a football game or are on a football team. So think about, do you have 4 quarters or do you have the opposite of 4 quarters and have a negative 4? This one is the last problem. Mr. Champion opened a savings account. Smart, because saving money is a good call. To begin saving money for Jenny's college fund. College is expensive. You got to save. He initially deposited. This word means added money to your bank account. So that means the first thing he did was he added $250 to the account. Then he withdraws. That means you take out money. Take out is not a positive, it's a negative. $50 each month. Ooh, but wait, I maybe wrote that too fast. This is why reading it first is important. From his checking account. We're not talking about his checking account. We're talking about his savings account. So let me scribble that out because it's not taking money out of this account. He is taking it out. So basically there are two types of bank accounts. Here's my beautiful bank. You can have a checking account. This is the account that you use all the time. My checking account is where I pay my rent from. It's where IDEA pays my paycheck into. If I pay my credit card bill, it's coming out of this bank account. My savings account at my beautiful, I don't know what these roofs are on my bank. Don't laugh. My savings account, I have a savings account for like emergency funds. I have a savings account for in case something happens at my house and I need to pay for something expensive. Savings accounts are money you don't touch that much. So using this drawing, he starts by adding $250 to the savings account. And then every month he takes out 50 from here and he moves it, that's called transferring it, to deposit it, it's now positive in this account, into this fund. And this happens each month. How much money will be in Jenny's college fund at the end of 2 years? First thing you need to know is how many months are in a year. 12. So 12 months in 1 year, that means 2 12s, that's 24 months. So we start with $250 in the account, and then for 24 months, we're going to be adding $50 each month. Each is a multiplicative word, means that we're going to be doing 24 times 50. And if you know your order of operations, like we've talked about, you multiply first, so you get this answer first, and then you can add 250 to it. You are not allowed to use a calculator in my class or on my homework. So do not come to me with just an answer written down. I need to see that you actually did the multiplication problem. So somewhere on your page, there should be a 24 times 50. Or if you don't like to set it up like this, I personally don't. I set it up, like this. 24 times 5, and I leave my 0 off to the side. Because I can do times 5. 5 times 4, write your answer. 5 times 2, write your answer. Deal with anything that you carried. And then drop a 0 down at the end, and you've done 50 times 24. That's not your final answer. Don't forget to add the 250 to your final answer. And now you're done with your homework.